Okay, so I'm going to put a good friend of mine through a little battle here, just for experience points as as an example of a little battle here to understand rolling styles. So if I could see the character sheet for 1 second. Just to show an example as comparison to the character sheet I made. Terse is the character he's made, and he is quite a higher level. He's at level 9. So you can see the stats don't change too much. So rolling sometimes for your first character is going to stay with them for quite a while. But that's not a bad thing. And the skills list is definitely longer than Bellman's. So, and he punches like a maniac because he has some special items. So,
just gauntlets. Or necessities.
As a DM, I'm going to have him fighting some of these things. So, I'll show you how I introduce enemies to players, but not necessarily in the book. Okay, so on the map here real quick, I generally use one that I put roughly to scale, but not exactly, because I'm not really anal about that. But I usually make a character symbol for each of the characters. This one has a T for Terse, his halfling, monk, or you cross-classed, didn't you?
Monk and sorcerer.
Yeah, monk, sorcerer, so he's a level 9 character. He's got
7 monk, level 2 sorcerer.
So he can cast some spells. He's equal to being a level 2 sorcerer class-wise, and a level 7 monk class-wise, but he's a level 9, so he gets the benefits of both. But we can do another video about cross-classing in the future for anybody who's curious about it. So, I map out this little area here, and generally what I'll do is, and don't worry about this board, that's for initiative. I'll describe that here in a second. But I would say, okay, so Terse goes down a hallway at one point. Not really sure why he's there. We'll just pretend he was going off on some little extra errand to go find something.
He was drunk and woke up in a cave.
He tried some dragon whiskey. So, after waking up in this cave, kind of drunk, he decides, you know, maybe it's a good idea to leave, probably.
To get out of said cave?
Yep. So you would obviously wander towards the exit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards what I assume is the exit.
So, on your way down the tunnel, no directions on the map because you don't really know the orientation of this place, you find yourself coming into an opening with a large room. And if I move your little marker here, actually, what I might do...
Oh, my Lego figure.
I'll just move you up here. So, if you walk to the edge of a room, you see that the room itself, as you walk towards it, is filled with crates, kind of a large, weird statue. It's not very prettily made. It looks like it was taken from mud bits and kind of thrown together and roughly shaped. It looks kind of like a frog man. He's holding a spear and something that looks almost like a rudimentary shield. There's a fire burning off behind the statue, and another crate just kind of off out in the open. There's a barrel behind the 2 crates off to your right, but otherwise the room seems fairly empty.
That's not a statue. Nice. I'll walk in paying attention, making sure I'm paying attention to the statue.
Okay. So are you looking around the room and everything else?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check. So what he's going to do is roll a d20 and see what result he gets there. I'm going to roll an opposing d20 check for something I have. I'll make notations on the video to kind of say what I'm doing as a DM or a GM here, so you can kind of see that process as well. So I'll make... Okay, and I'll put that as a side note.
22.
Okay. Well, let me check something real quick here. Wow. Okay, these guys kind of suck. You see, as you look around the room, this big, ugly statue thing. You notice what looks like the crate over here is very shoddily built, and it's got what looks like a figure crouched behind it. And then another crouched over here. And they seem to be waiting for you to walk into the room. They're making very small, almost croaky noises to each other, hoping that you won't hear them.
Stealth?
So you start sneaking?
Yeah.
Alright, go for it. So he's going to roll his stealth check here.
35.
Oh, jeez. Well.
I rolled 20.
Okay.
And 15.
I checked their perception here. Alright, so as you walk in, I'll ghost your character here by making you a little harder to see. So they don't seem to notice that you're there. The one ahead turns around to say something to the other, and the other checks the cage. There seems to be a large furry creature in the cage. You're not really sure what it is. But when they're checking and they look back up, they kind of make slightly louder noises, like they don't really know what happened to you.
Where's the cage?
The cage is this little crate right here.
Oh, okay. Got it. I'm gonna sneak around behind him.
Okay, off to the right using the crates as cover?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, move your character here. And you move off to the crates back here. The ground is kind of loose here because it's really roughly cut out of the cave. Roll another stealth check for me. So he's going to roll a d20 again to see how quietly he moves. And add his stealth skill total to that roll.
23.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, this one here, as you move up, stands up over the crate and starts to look around, wondering what the heck just happened. So I'm going to move him over just a little. Well, I don't really need to move him over. But, so, right now, usually, since he sees what this ugly thing is, then I'll show you. That's what they look like.
Oh, okay.
They're about 5 feet tall when they stand, and they seem to be wearing pretty rudimentary armor and pretty rudimentary little spears. But he's looking around, he doesn't see you at all. You have an attack of opportunity if you wish to get up next to him and hit him. Quick footnote here is each of these little squares I generally represent as being about 5 or 10 feet. This one here I decided to be more like 5. So he's within melee range of both of these guys. So he could actually move forward, hit this guy, and then move forward, hit this one if he had 2 base attacks that he can perform in the round or the turn. So, and since combat hasn't started yet, there aren't any turns yet. So he can do pretty much whatever he wants at this point. So long as they didn't see him.
Yeah. Say I have about 5 feet. I will. Oh man, let's see.
Get some of my dice ready here, which I should have done earlier.
I'm gonna cast Obscuring Mist.
Awesome. So, when he casts that spell, it fills an area. How big is the area?
I think it was 15 feet.
Yep. So 15 feet basically in a circle with a very heavy mist or pretty much like a fog. So, 15 feet, I said these squares are equal to about 5 feet. So, 15 feet around Terse, and here would be 5, 10, 15. So,
almost cover him also.
Yep. So everything within pretty much there is suddenly filled with a mist that, if I remember the spell right, you can see through, correct?
Hang on. Let's see. Fog surrounds you.
He's looking up the spell using a special app on his phone. That's the Masterwork Tools, right? I'll put a link to Masterwork Tools for Pathfinder in the video description.
20 feet. Cloud spreads in 20 feet radius from you.
Whoa.
And it's 20 feet high. Let's see.
Oh.
Vapor obscures all sight, including dark vision beyond 5 feet. Okay, so yeah, that I cannot see through it.
Okay, cool. Well, beyond 5 feet.
Yeah, they're within 5 feet.
Well, he is.
So, yeah,
this one up here. Well, 10 feet. Do you move forward to look for him?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I can feel around because I have the crates right at me, and I know he was right on the other side of the crates.
Yep.
So.
All right. So I'm just keeping the fog at 15 feet because this is an example, so why not? So I'm going to move you a little bit closer. Are you going to still sneak at him? Since you're moving again, if you're going to try to get really close to him, make another stealth check for me.
Okay. 34.
Okay. So, not too bad, but definitely not high enough. So basically, since he gets a super high number, it's just the same thing as a difficulty check, where they're going to have to get a critical, basically, land on a 20 to be able to see him. And they haven't done that yet, so. Alright, you get within distance of being able to reach out and touch him. He's looking around over the crate and poking his spear into the mist, trying to work his way around the box.
I will engage now.
Alright, you get an attack of opportunity. So, Terse is able to attack, and of course again, he rolls one of these, try to see if he can hit one of these creatures. And they have an AC of their own, which tells you how hard they are to hit. It is this number right there. So.
Does a 19 hit?
Oh yeah. Roll your damage.
Alright. Let's see. I need a d8 and I need a d10. There we go.
And as a GM, I'm going to keep track of this boggart's health points, which at this point are that many.
So let's see. 10, 19.
Whoa. So he ends up with that many left. He lost more than half of his health points. So I'm going to make him roll a fortitude check here. Alright.
So this is why Terse needs fire shot.
Okay, so he rolls that. He does not make his fortitude check. So, Terse steps forward. You swing for the back of his head with your special gauntlets and everything. And when you make contact with the back of his head, you hear a very loud crunch. He buckles and falls onto the little crate in front of him and then just kind of goes splat onto the floor.
Stealth.
Alright, roll for it. And I'll roll for this guy.
Almost fell off. That one is 29.
He definitely doesn't see you.
Still.
So you walk out of the mist, and he has opened this crate and is walking forward towards the mist, trying to figure out what the noise he just heard was.
Can I see what was in the crate?
Make a perception roll.
The cage. 30.
30? Oh, okay. It looks like a very, very large boar.
Okay.
It is a dire boar.
Food.
So, it is just starting its way out of the crate, but it's not really anywhere yet. Looks like the crate was kind of small for it, so it's trying to squeeze its way out, of course.
Okay.
The crate's made of some really kind of ragtag items, some bones, some wood, etc. Alright, so you end up behind the crate and behind this boggart.
Sounds good.
What do you do?
Should probably go for the boar first. What? I'm gonna use my bands of binding because they have combat use. I'm gonna use it on the boar.
Okay.
It's trying to get out.
So the bands of binding Dan is going to use with Terse are a special bauble. They're about that big, and it's a magical item where if he hits a creature with it, they extend around the creature with iron bands and completely like entangle it and lock it in place.
Yeah.
All right.
Rubber remember the strength check to break it.
Yeah. But
It was pretty high. The giant couldn't break it.
Yeah. Make a touch attack to walk up and slap him on him. His head's poking out of the little thing there, so.
18?
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't add anything to it, so.
You got double his touch AC. So you walk up, smack him in the face with it, and it spreads around his front legs, tangles him together, and makes him trip and fall down on
DC 30.
the ground. Yep. But he doesn't get to make that until his turn. Just for example's sake, when you throw that on the boar, he's kind of out of action until he makes a check. The boggart up here hears you, because the bands are really loud whenever they expand, and he flips around. Roll Inish. So initiation is rolling one of these to see who goes first, with pluses and minuses.
13?
Okay, he goes first.
Okay. He's not
So, probably not. Oh, and I need to roll for the boar. Oh, okay, the boar goes first. So he needs to break a DC 30. What's his strength plus?
not high enough.
Oh. There's a strength of 23.
Oh. So that's a plus 6?
Yeah, 20 is plus 5. Yeah, so it's a plus 6. So the boar gets plus 6 to whatever he rolls on this. Okay, so 22. So since the strength on the bands is 30, he's stuck there. The boggart decides to go. What is your AC, Terse?
27.
27. So the boggart has to beat a 27 to hit him. Boggart, or boggard, rather,
Boggart.
steps forward and swings his spear at you. It's got all these nasty little spikes on it, so... Okay. He gets a plus 5 to attack. But you have a 27 AC? Yeah, so you're going to be pretty much untouchable. Okay, yeah. Wow. So he swings for you, and you easily just kind of bat his little spear away. Your turn.
I will go to punch him.
Roll for it.
Ooh. That's a 21 to hit.
You definitely hit him.
Yeah. Okay. I should not have put those dice in here. Right. Yeah. It's 9, 14, 22.
Wow. Okay, so you step forward and punch him so hard in his face, you shove his nose into his brain. In one punch, he is dead.
I did that with a kobold, too.
One punch! Okay, so you are officially One Punch Man. So, you now have a boar who's halfway out of a crate, covered in iron bands.
Oh, man.
Do you wish to coup de grace him?
Yeah.
Okay, so a coup de grace on an enemy that's prone or can't get up or anything, can't fight back, comatose, whatever, is basically when you can attack an enemy and kill them without even having to roll damage. So you walk forward with your special little gauntlets here, or not gauntlets, your cesties.
Yeah.
And you punch on either side of the boar's head. His eyeballs kind of make an exaggerated whoop, and he dies with a loud crunch.
Oh, yeah.
Your cesties also being magical, sear little points where you've shankety-shanked him. So, the boar is dead in his little crate. The two boggards are dead. I will give you a combined...
Oh, man.
1800 XP.
Hell yeah.
And that's battle concluded. So, this is just a brief example of all that went on. His mist would go away, he'd be able to explore the room and find anything in here. So, yeah, that's really short. Don't take on a level 9 if you are not also a level 9.